You can't see them. Can you see them? Hello, my name is Rachel, as y'all all know, and I'm 28 years old, and today I would like to show y'all how to make coffee. Some people don't drink coffee at all, so they don't really know how to make it. This is based on my experience making coffee throughout my coffee drinking years. I haven't always made coffee because I don't really like drinking it that much. I don't really like the taste, so I have to have specific creamers to make it taste good enough for me to drink. And it's not really my favorite drink. I rather drink water. But being a mother of 3 children and a college student, I need all the energy I can get. So that's why I drink the coffee, so that I can try to stay awake during the day so I can do my homework and take care of my children. So I need a bunch of energy throughout the day. According to Healthline.com, coffee is the biggest dietary source of caffeine. Healthline states that there is around 95 milligrams of caffeine in an average cup of coffee. Now, ours probably, the way that I make it, doesn't have that much in it because we like to drink our coffee weaker than other people do. So we don't make it as strong, and we definitely don't drink straight black coffee. But we do know a couple people who do drink straight black coffee, but it's just not something that I can do. I know personally one of my main concerns when I'm drinking anything with caffeine or consuming anything with caffeine is I may be consuming too much caffeine, especially if you have heart problems. Too much caffeine can cause issues. Medical issues. According to the Mayo Clinic, mayoclinic.org, 400 milligrams of caffeine a day should be safe enough for the average healthy person to consume a day. So that's, if you have 95 milligrams of caffeine in 1 cup, that's about 4 cups of coffee. Maybe 4.5. That's a lot of coffee to drink a day, though. It is important, though, that when you're consuming anything with caffeine, coffee, soda, anything with caffeine, even food like chocolate, that you add all those together. It's just not about the amount of caffeine that's in the coffee. It's how much is in the chocolate you eat, how much is in the soda you drink. So it's 400 milligrams of coffee, caffeine in the chocolate, caffeine in your sodas, energy drinks, which I know my audience drinks a lot of. And so actually energy drinks contain way more caffeine than a cup of coffee. And so if someone's drinking caffeine, energy drinks and coffee at the same time, they really need to be careful about how much they're drinking during the day. So now I'm going to demonstrate how I make coffee. This is for how I make coffee for me and my husband. Like I said, we don't drink it very strong, so if you like stronger coffee, you would need to use more coffee in your coffee filter when it's brewing. So for demonstrative purposes, I've already got my water in here, and we only do about, it says this is a 12-cup coffee. I think it's called a carafe, and we only have 6 cups in here, but a lot of people make a whole pot, which is 12 cups worth. And you just pour it in the back, however much you want of coffee. You put that much water in the back of your coffee pot. But some of the water is going to evaporate because it has to heat up in order to make the coffee. And then you get your coffee filters. My husband taught me this. Just blow it a little bit. It separates the coffee filter.
Wow.
And you stick it in there. Now you have to make sure that the coffee filter isn't bent in and that it's straight all the way around, because if not, when the water is going through it, it'll push the filter down and you'll get a bunch of grounds in your coffee. And that's not very pleasant when you're drinking coffee. That's part of the reason why I don't use the 1 cup coffee one pot coffee makers anymore. I used to use it, but even with the little filters that you can buy for them, it still gets too many grams in there for me. So now this is actually a coffee scoop, but I bought it, came with my measuring set. It's 2 tablespoons worth of coffee, which is what usually people use for 6 cups of coffee. If you want more coffee, you can the whole pot. You just do 2 of these scoops, and it's easier to use the scoop because if you use a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, it's not as deep to hold the grounds. Then you just stick it in there and you turn it on. Now it's going to take a minute for it to get hot enough to start putting the coffee. The water through the grounds. So I'm going to tell you about some of the other stuff, the stuff that we use in our coffee. Now, my husband, he likes a lot of sugar and creamer in his coffee. Me, I just like creamer, so he likes sugar. So we're going to go ahead in his cup and put probably about 3 of these tablespoons of sugar because he has to have it really, really sweet. And I know some people in my audience put the creamer in before their coffee. I usually don't, but this time I am because the coffee's not ready yet. And I just pour mine in the cup. I probably use about 3 to 4 tablespoons, which is too much coffee creamer. But I don't put sugar in mine, so the coffee creamer offsets the cream offsets the coffee. Now, it's only got a little bit in there, but luckily our coffee pot is made to where we can pull the pot out while it's still brewing, and it'll stop the coffee, and then you just pour the coffee in there. That way you don't have to wait for the whole pot to get done if you're ready for a cup of coffee out of your 6 or 12 cups of coffee. And also, some people use, this is liquid creamer. Some people use powdered coffee creamer. This is sugar-free chocolate. This is my favorite, amaretto. My husband's favorite's not up here because it's hard to find nowadays. And then these are coffee syrups. So these are flavored, and these are sugar-free, but they're still kind of sweet. They do make full sugar ones. And this is, they come in all different kinds of flavors, and you just pour it in there, and you can pour it in there with your evaporated milk, and it gives it flavor instead of using actual coffee creamer. Well, my coffee pot's not going to fill all the way up, but this is how you make coffee. Well, this is how I make coffee. Hopefully, it has helped y'all learn how to make coffee my way. Now, if you need a lot more caffeine, then just put a lot more coffee in the filter. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You send me a cup of that diabetes up here? I'll have one.